And welcome back to Coach Talk. LJ, hi.
Hi, Dave. How's your week been?
My week, you know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Yeah, is it epic, awesome?
My week
Any other?
has been epic.
Say any other short or E or A words? Excellent, amazing.
You know, you can go old-fashioned, like back to our era, back in the 80s and before, when we say it was ace.
Ace is a good word.
Ace is a good word.
Ace is a good word.
What do the generation of today say when you ask them how is something and they want to use a really great... What's a word that... I have no idea. What do they say?
Good.
I love it.
Sorry to the younger people that we both know.
You know, you're spot on, you know. How is it? Good. That's all you get. There's no epic.
That's okay. We love the young people that are reaching out, listening to us, and thank you for having a giggle with us because you know it's true.
It is, and we are old enough to be able to have that laugh with you, and you can just laugh at us about other things.
Do you know what another word I was trying to think of was that's come about again for being good, Ace, and that is mint.
I haven't heard mint for a while.
Mint has done the rounds a couple of times now, but I think it's out again, but it was in again.
So mint is back.
Mint was back.
Mint.
Everything was mint.
Okay. Here we are. Mint. So today's podcast is going to be mint.
No, it's out. You can't use it. Today's podcast, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Don't mind us while we just have a bit of a nostalgic rundown into awesome words that we love to... We're wordsmiths, and being descriptive is one of the things that we love to do.
We don't have a script. That's what we do. Today's podcast. Now, as normal, we haven't spoken about what we're going to talk about. I like how we do this.
Yes.
I like how we do it.
You like challenging my thought processes.
I do. I would like your perspective today on, and I know you know what this is, so it won't surprise you, but I would like your perspective today on the term eating a frog. When you eat a frog.
Eat a frog.
Do
I know this one? I don't think I know this one.
Well, you may not. Eating a frog. Okay. There is a guy, his name's Brian Tracy. Our listeners, if you Google Brian Tracy, he is very well known. He's written...
he's amazing.
Countless books. He's written so many things. He's an amazing man.
Life, leadership.
Yes.
He's got something for everybody. If you don't have a Brian Tracy book on your bookshelf, you need to invest in one because it will be one of the best books you ever read.
He's an amazing man. So he's Canadian-American. I'm not sure which parent was who in the zoo, Canadian and American, but he's Canadian-American. He's a motivational speaker. He's an author. He's known around the world to pioneer so many things in the way we think and our mindset and the way that we take action and do things. An amazing man. He came up with a phrase and pioneered the phrase called eating a frog.
I've heard of kissing frogs.
Yeah, but they turn into a prince or something like that?
Well, I think the saying was you have to kiss enough frogs to find your prince.
Yeah.
Or princess if you're male. Yeah.
Pass.
That's the only thing I've heard of which relates to frogs. But please enlighten me.
And we're not talking about the French either that eat frogs, like they literally...
No. This is just sayings.
The saying. So eating a frog. So he emphasises the importance of tackling your most challenging task, in brackets, eating a frog. It's like eating a frog is something you don't want to do. It's like it's tackling an important or challenging task, doing it the first thing in the morning. So whatever it is you need to do, you get it done early in the morning, you've eaten your frog, and the rest of your day isn't as hard or challenging as your day goes on.
This is like the eat your vegetables first principle, isn't it?
Yeah. And do you know, I do that.
Same.
Ever since I was a boy, and people make comment about this when I have dinner with friends and dinner with people. You always eat your vegetables first, and I do. I have my veggies first.
Does it make the meat so much enjoyable?
Yeah, ever since I was a kid, because I hated veggies as a kid. I love vegetables now.
So you've been eating frogs for a long time now, or the principle of it?
Many years. So what he says is, first thing in the morning, this increases productivity, it increases your effectiveness through the day, and his concept has become a globally and widely recognised strategy in the field of personal development and time management. So he says that whatever it is, whether it's emails, paying bills, structuring difficult things to do for your day, it could be something about your housework, doing dishes or sweeping the floor or cleaning a bathroom, or whatever it is that challenges you in your day, do it first. Eat that frog, and everything else from that onwards is not as difficult and challenging, and it motivates you to, if you did the hard part and you recognise it and say, I did this, and oh my goodness, that was really hard. Everything else pales into insignificance compared to that for your day. So you go, oh, I can do this and I can do that. It's not as hard as the first thing you did.
Mm-hmm.
I heard this concept many, many years ago and thought, it's actually really good. So I did a little bit of reading about it, and I thought eating a frog it's a great term for people that if they want to get motivated and they wake up in the morning and they say, oh, I've got to eat this frog. How do I do it? Or what do I do? So one thing I looked at, and I did a little bit of looking into it, and I made up my own version of eating a frog.
Mm-hmm.
And I made point, like a dot point sort of thing, and I thought, oh, yeah, I'll make this into a podcast and we can talk about it, and I'd love your reasoning and your perspective along the way about how we do this. Okay. So first thing about eating a frog for me is, and I know you do the same, is before you take on a challenging task or something that really challenges you to achieve it, set your environment.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So for me in the mornings, and this is shout out to you, LJ, I get up early in the mornings, a lot earlier than I used to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, I've created a sunraiser.
You have, and I never used to. And now I do. I get up early in the mornings and it's quiet. I have time to reflect. I have time to have a coffee.
Just disclaimer, Uncle Cutto has fought me every step of the way on this whole getting up early thing. So with enough support and enough motivational and determination to grow, you can achieve anything. I'm so proud of you, buddy.
Thank you. I did it and I do it. And I actually, I do like it.
You get more done.
I do like it. Yeah, I like getting up early and eating my frog. I really do. So I do set my environment. So for me, one thing I do is I put on music straight away. Mm-hmm. I like good music, and it suits my mood and what I want to do. Mm-hmm. So previous podcasts we've talked about, you can put on the music that puts you into a certain state.
Yes.
So I choose music in the morning that puts me into the state I want to be in to be productive. So straight away, music goes on, coffee machine goes on. Sometimes I may even have talkback radio just in the background to distract me and keep me going. It just
depends on the task. Yeah,
it depends on the task. Definitely comfortable seating. So I'm seated comfortably in a nice chair, or I like to sit on stools near my bench. So. And also preparing myself with, and we've talked about this earlier, about setting your intentions for the day, a little bit of quietness and thinking about how your day wants to pan out. It's almost a meditative sort of state of just before you start your task, it's just thinking about how you want to do your task, how you can feel afterwards. It's pretty much meditative, I guess, and it's similar to athletes, and we talk about high performance. So many people in athletes or sport or even in business, they spend time thinking about their end goal, their end result, how they have performed even before they start. Tennis players do it a lot.
Start with the end in mind.
Absolutely. So that's a good thing for me to start to eat the frog. And then from there, I will separate the time I have into time blocks. So it just won't be, or for the next hour and a half, I'm going to just attack, let's say, emails, for example. Mm-hmm. I generally was pretty bad at email checking. I would let them go for days on end, and so now in the mornings, it is a challenge for me, just checking emails, because I get a few. Now, part of my eating the frog is I will set aside a good 20 minutes, and only 20, and I zoom through my emails. And I discard ones that may be advertising or spam or things that aren't relevant. Gone, done, straight to the bin. Yep. And then I prioritise my other emails that I can answer quickly or take action on immediately. Do that right now. Other things that need more time, I can then diarise them, or I just triage pretty much my emails, and it takes me 20 minutes and I'm done. And that's my time block for emails. Yep. And then for the next 20 minutes, bills. And I'm lazy with bills. I just put them aside. I'll pay it on the due date. I'll pay it here. No, if it comes up and it's a reminder or it's due a week before or so, now in my time block of 20 minutes, pay the bill.
Nobody likes to pay their bills.
No.
A mindset shift around paying bills, which was, I guess it's come out of the book The Secret, and we've talked about this before, is think of paying your bills like making a donation.
Yeah.
Because then you feel good about it rather than feel crappy about it.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right. And the 20 minutes I use to pay my bills, the feeling I get for me when I've paid my bill,
Satisfaction?
The weight off my shoulder is immediate.
It's done. It's satisfied, and you can tick it off, but also you can go, I kept someone employed today.
Yeah. So in that space, I've done 40 minutes in my quiet time, well before 6:30 a.m. in the morning. I've done bills and emails, which before I started doing this, it was stressful because it would be in the back of my mind all day long. I've got this to do. I've got that to do. It was creeping back into my work day, which now I'm walking out of my front door to attend to other business items I have to attend to, and the weight has just lifted. It's gone.
So I really love that you've had a big paradigm shift around this.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question.
Go.
We always know in the coaching space, and in any space really, let's talk about something that, let's reference it in a way that maybe people can relate to. When you're first aid trained, what's the first thing you have to do is make sure that you identify, say, dangers, for example. So let's take the concept of that and think of dangers as more of fill your own cup first. Because if you don't fill your own cup first and take care of the personal necessities that need to be taken care of, how can you then wholeheartedly and whole-mindedly step into being productive for your day that then serves and creates production for the rest of your day, whether it be a job or whether it be of service, whether it be volunteer? It doesn't matter what you do from 9 to 5. You have an obligation to show up 100%.
Yeah.
So if you're not taking care of business, eating your frog, eating your elephant, however you want to phrase it, if you're not filling your cup first, how do you then step in to show up 100%?
Yeah, absolutely. And I like that. That's good. It's so true. It's changed the way that I've approached some things in business during my day, because even these two little things that I attack every morning now, they just don't factor into the rest of my day. I don't have to worry about them.
Because it fills your cup.
It fills my cup. So I can now devote more attention to where I should be.
Absolutely.
At that time of the day. So it's helping me massively. The good thing about it is I'm finding for me, and I'll talk from my personal experience, when I've been doing this now for a little while and it feels great, it's now becoming a habit. So now to me, it's not eating a frog. Does that make sense? So,
yes, I absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, so now I get up. It was like getting up early in the morning because you were pushing me and you wanted me to try something different. Yeah, thanks a lot for that.
Frog legs.
So that was for me eating a frog.
Yeah.
Now it's not.
Yeah.
I wake up without my alarm going off quite easily at 4:30, 4:45 in the morning, and I'm out of bed just after 5, and that's now a habit.
Yeah, because you reframed it.
Yeah, so that's not eating a frog, and this is going to become the same thing for me with 20 minutes of bill paying, 20 minutes of checking emails and triaging my emails. That will become a habit where that's not eating a frog for me anymore. So then I move into the next thing, which I perceive as, okay, what is the next thing to eat a frog for me? And I know what that is straight away. That's going to be exercise.
Really important.
For me. So I know so many people that wake up early and they get out there, they're walking or they're running or they go to the gym. The gym I go to, you see people in that gym at 5 o'clock in the morning and they are working hard before their day starts.
Yeah. There's some really good evidence and research out there now, which I'm not going to quote the individual research, but they're now looking at the times when people do their workouts, and it has been shown that the majority of people benefit more from a health perspective of exercising first thing rather than trying to do it when you're tired, fatigued, and your mind's not on the job. And from an injury perspective too, when you're more present with what you're doing, say from a health and fitness perspective, your injury rate goes down too.
Massive benefits. Great benefits.
So if you're like us and you love to go down rabbit holes and research, there's some great research coming out at the moment around that type of exercise benefit, whether it should be a morning, should be night.
Yeah. So that's going to be my next one. So for me, I'll always have something which would be my version of eating the frog. And then I'll want to create that habit and make it into a habit and then move on to something else. So that's for me. So I can see, for me, my habits will be, hopefully shortly, getting up early, as you've encouraged me to do. I do a 30-minute brisk walk, only 30 minutes, because I just want to keep my time blocks. I get back, I've got the coffee on, I set my environment with music, comfortable seating, I have a coffee, and then I do my 20 minutes of emails, 20 minutes of bills.
Yes.
And I think those three things, exercise, bills and emails, for me, alone would change massively how I begin the rest of my day. And I can see it even now before I've started exercising in the morning that early on a regular basis. I'm actually excited about that. So that's the eating a frog thing. The good thing about it is when you make something into a habit, then find something else that is your frog.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So, great that you touched on that. Habits are something that we do consistently enough that over a period of time we don't have to think about them. We just automatically do them. However, if you get so structured in your habits where, say, for example, you need to show some flexibility, it derails your mindset for the day. So one thing we need to remember is habits are really important. However, flexibility of those habits is all equally as important for your growth, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. So don't be so rigid that you can't be flexible to adapt what you need to do in the morning. Like if you don't get your singing and dancing mindset stuff done before your bills are paid, that's okay.
Yeah.
But make sure you do it at some period during the day. But be flexible, because flexibility of habits is just as important as structure around habits as well.
Absolutely it is. And I love that how you say that, because it ties in with my last point, that if you have something in your day where you, inverted commas, you need to eat the frog, and it's something that's so large that you can't achieve it all, it's okay to shelve it and do a little bit, put it aside, pick it up again the next day, until it takes maybe 1, 2, 3 or 4 days or whatever to achieve it. Just do a little bit every morning, or do a little bit every day at a certain time, and over a week or 2 weeks, or you don't have to do it all in the one day. It can be done over a period, but even if little chunks and little steps along the way, you'll get it done. But just create that consistency and that habit of
chewing.
Yeah, of chewing.
The habit is actually the chewing.
And I love this whole concept of, and it's working for me. It is working for me, and for a little while now. So it's all because I'm getting up early. Okay, it's all your fault. So one thing that we talk about.
That was my gift to you.
It's a lovely gift.
It was my gift.
Thank you.
So I'm more than happy to give you that gift of motivation to say, change your world, change your mindset, because that's what you're best at.
It's a lovely gift. Don't say you don't give me anything.
Oh, I would never say that.
So for me, and we go back to a lot of what we talk about in a lot of our podcasts, not just in Eating a Frog, but things that we do in our podcasts in the mindset side of how we do things. When you start to eat your frog and you achieve in your tasks, you set your environment, you have time blocks to do things. What do you do after that? And for us, one of the big things is celebrate it. Acknowledge yourself for doing it, and it doesn't have to be anything big. It just has to be. And for me, and I've talked about this to LJ and people that I've coached over time as well. People ask me, what is the easiest way that I celebrate something? So I personally have created a thing where I clench my fist, and it's like an anchoring. I clench my fist and I say to myself 3 words: I did it.
I love that.
And I clench my fist and I go, I did it. Yep. And I mean it when I say it. I really mean it. And I could do this for me, and maybe I look stupid walking down the street when someone looks at me and I've just done something epic and I go, I did it. But every time I do that and I actually say it, I feel it. I've created that neural pathway now where I can celebrate something quite easily and feel the endorphin dump and feel great about it just by clenching my fist and going, I did it.
Interesting, because when we start to actually do that, we term it as a celebration.
Yeah.
But as we anchor it, is an anchoring of satisfaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's important to have those anchoring of satisfaction, because it also helps you see how resourceful and capable you are, and how you show up for yourself. And we've done this before, because if you can't show up for you and you can't lead yourself, how can you show up for your family, your team, your workplace, your friends? You're incongruent.
Yeah. You know, I travel a fair bit with other things, and once again, I got off a plane only 2 days ago.
I was going to say, are your arms tired from travelling?
Yes, they are. So, and I had to catch a connecting flight this time, which in Auckland, in New Zealand. And as we were landing from one place, my flight was about to take off. So my original flight was running late, and I didn't think I was going to get there, but I did, and I managed to. Old me, I'm running and run, and I got to the gate. I got on the plane, and as I was sitting down in my seat on my connecting flight back to Melbourne, I did exactly that. I clenched my fist and I went, I did it. And I felt this instant satisfaction, like you say, and relief and happiness that I made it happen, where I caught my connecting flight. Now I can just sit back, relax, read, whatever I need to do. But for me, that's a great anchoring for me to celebrate something I've done. So most mornings when I eat a frog and I achieve my, and it sounds simple to some people, but for me, bill paying and emails was a bit of a hurdle for me. I do it quite easily now. I clench the fist and I did it.
Yep.
And I'll do that when I start walking every morning and exercising. And so I'm just challenging myself with little things along the way, but I do celebrate it every time I do it.
I really like that.
Really important.
Really like that.
Anybody you can do your own way of doing that. For me, that gives me instant endorphin dump, and I get a dopamine dump, for me. But someone or you can do it any way you like. The important thing is make sure you do celebrate the little things along the way, because you're then celebrating yourself. It's helping you show up as you, as we just talked about.
Yep.
So many important things. You can create that neural pathway, but to celebrate it, you feel good when you celebrate it, which then makes you want to do something else. So you celebrate it, which then makes you feel good. It's a circle that keeps going around and around.
Yeah, it's the above the line set mentality that we often talk about,
100%.
and about showing up for you and being authentic.
Yeah.
So on that note, I would really love our amazing listeners, and hello to everybody that's reached out over the last few weeks, and we would love to know how you celebrate. Jump into the Facebook page, which is Coach Talk, and share with us how you actually celebrate, because it could be as simple as going, I had a cup of tea and I sat down and I just took a breath for 5 minutes, or it can be like I drum on the bench and I go dancing, and I high five myself like Mel Robbins teaches, or it can be like I sprint and go heck yes. Or we want to know what you do to celebrate. Don't just tell us, make a little video and show us and put it on the page. If you can't get it on the page, send it to us, because we would love to see your celebration. Yeah,
jump on the website. We do have a wonderful website. Jump on that and let us know. We would love to hear from you, and feel free to let us know also, how do you eat a frog? How do you do it, and what it is? Because LJ and I, we actually love hearing from you and reading your comments and reading what you have to say. We love that interaction, so let us know.
And we've got some amazing people that reach out on a regular basis, and then we've got some amazing new listeners that are popping up all the time, and new followers, which we are very grateful that you love what we're doing, and we're here to serve you as much as to enjoy making a podcast for you too, that hopefully gets the conversations around your home flowing a little bit better on things that you haven't thought about.
Certainly. Great chat, LJ. Thank you for your time.
Great topic, Dave. Thank
you
always, so much.
We will see you and talk to you soon, and everybody else, all the best.
Take care.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, it's LJ and Dave here. Thank you so much for listening to the latest podcast.
We love what we do, and we know you get something great out of each and every publication.
So don't forget to jump on the website, coachtalk.com.au. Leave us a message. Let us know what you're up to, what you're enjoying, what you're loving most, and what else you'd like to see us do.
You can also find all of our content on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Apple Music.
Coachtalk.com.au is the website. Coach Talk. We've got you.